I was literally at my desk. It was a Tuesday morning. I'd been in 3 classrooms that morning. I came back to my office and I had a meeting with a group of teachers. And we were having a conversation and the phone rang. And I answered the phone. It was a school board member, and they asked me the question if I was willing to be considered to be the next superintendent. They said, Mr. Koba's considering retirement. Would you be willing to be considered to be the next superintendent? And I didn't quite get what they were saying because what I thought when the beginning of the conversation was Mr. Koba's retiring, I'm thinking, oh, we're going to activate the search committee because 3 years ago or was it 3 years ago or 4 years ago? 3 years ago? Yeah. It was 3 years ago when we were searching for a new superintendent. The board put together a search committee to select the next superintendent, and I was on that search committee. So I'm thinking, oh, we're going to put the search committee together again. So yeah, I would love to participate. So I said something like, I'd love to participate in this process of selecting the next best candidate to serve the children of our city. And they said, no, we're not talking about that. And I said, okay, what are we talking? So that conversation unfolded, and it was literally that quick. And they said that we've had a broad discussion, and the board members are talking about, and they talked about the concept of somebody with an instructional background and a vision for somebody from within the system instead of outside of the system, and whether they would use a national search firm and what process they wanted to use. And they sort of used, I think, the Wizard of Oz theory of you don't look anywhere beyond your own backyard when you have an answer right here. And so I put ruby slippers is what I should have worn today. They felt like they had the answer right here, and I said, well, I think it's really important that there's wide community. So
so you said you're willing to, then they call back and say, hey,
yeah.
You just got a text, is that another job offer?
Stop it. I don't know, let me check.
No.
It's Arnie Duncan.
Oh, okay. Say no. I think we're waiting. Are you going to say no?
So, you know, I had been asked to take other jobs. Since I'd been at Central, offers had come my way to do other work and to be a principal. There's other jobs in the district. I had been asked, and my answer was always no. Because I had made a commitment to a community, and I had made a commitment to a group of children. And that commitment was a commitment that I took seriously. And I would never leave in the middle. Sometimes the offers would come in the middle of the school year. I didn't understand turning your back on children during the middle of the school year. We were engaged in really important work. And I believe that I'm doing the work that I do because it's not a job for me. I didn't go to Central to become a principal. I went to Central to do the work of engaging solutions around public education and figuring out what works. And I don't like that. Sometimes people have quoted me as saving public education. I don't quite like that term because it acts like, it's a little bit of a negative paradigm, but to engage what works. And I wanted to go on the front lines, and I didn't care, and I still don't care, which is the big irony here, what job I had. The job title didn't matter to me. I just want to do the work. And I believe that everybody in the system, whether you're a nurse or a counselor or a bus driver or somebody who sits in the office or a teacher or an assistant, or in this system of San Diego Unified or in public education, lots of people are doing lots of jobs, but the work is the same work. And that's giving children opportunities that they need.
So, for years,
but I didn't finish the end of that story, I don't think. So, yeah, it was just a phone call later, and that was a Tuesday, and they said, well, we've actually made a decision. And I said, well, how did you do that? You haven't talked to the community yet. You can't make a decision on what the children of San Diego need without wide community engagement. And they said, well, we've made our decision, and we're going to announce it tomorrow night at a press conference at 7:30 p.m. So you better go get a haircut, is what one of the board members told me. And my head was just spinning, and I said, I don't agree with this. This is not, you didn't ask the community, and you can refer those questions to the board, but they are very clear on why they made that decision. And so this period, let's just be clear that I'm actually not the superintendent yet. I'm the superintendent designate. My official start date is July 1st, and I'm working alongside an incredibly talented man who is very generous in his leadership and his mentorship with me in this transition. That's our current superintendent, Bill Koba. He's not here tonight, but yes, please clap for him. I have an opportunity to transition, and it's very rare in a large urban system like this. That's usually one walks out the door and the other walks in the other door. And so it happened quickly, but now it's not that quick. Now it's this period of transitioning, and because the community was skipped, and it was done overnight, I'm not skipping the community now, which is why I said yes to something like this, and almost anything else that anyone invites me to, I say yes because I work for you. Sorry, school board, but I don't work for you. I used to say I don't work for the superintendent. I chose to work in San Diego Unified, not for it. I work for the community, and I used to say I don't work for the superintendent, and now I am the superintendent, so it will be. Yes, the school board hires and fires a superintendent. It's the most important job any school board does in our nation. And yes, they can fire me, and when they do, I'll just teach second grade again, because that's kind of like the job I love the most.
So that's the narrative. First of all, are you okay with the selection process now, or you just put those concerns away?
Well, I'm clear. I'm not changing my mind about it.
Right.
You know, I'm clear on that process. Is
there a substantial amount of pain that you've had to deal with in the community?
You know what? I just deferred. The board said, let us handle the pain, and I thank them for that. I appreciate the way they fielded that. They've been really honest about it. What I really appreciate about the board is that they were crystal clear. All 5 of them. It's unbelievable to have unanimous, enthusiastic support from 5 elected officials. And so that pain, the fact that they're clear on it is what makes the pain. They can talk about it.